I'm Tieasha, and this is the pilot episode for my new show called The Walk of Life. Here I will talk with different people about their journey and things that inspire them. I'm so happy today I have my good friend and the host who's going to be interviewing me, Womel, and we are live at Mo Cafe. So let's get started.
Good evening. It's truly a pleasure to be here with you again. I have a few questions for you tonight. I hope you're okay with answering them. I'm very excited to, dive and dig deep into your past, into your future, and I'm very excited once more.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Take it away.
No tough questions, right?
Maybe a few here and there, but again, I'm sure you'll be well equipped to answer and give us beautiful, beautiful excerpts about your everything you have.
Okay. He's going to be tough with me, but it's okay. It's all right.
Who is Tieasha Baker?
Career-wise, I would say I'm a singer, a songwriter, actress, writer, screenplay writer. But I'm a child of God. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. The most important thing is that I would consider myself a human being who tries to do the right thing every time.
Absolutely. So, when did you know you wanted to sing?
I was 2 years old. I saw The Bodyguard, and I saw Whitney Houston, and it was the end, and she was singing, "Yep, I will always love you." And I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to be.
A giant influence, nonetheless.
Yeah, such a giant.
Other than influences, who are your other influences musically as well?
You know, there's so many great artists: Otis Redding, Lauryn Hill, Toni Braxton, Brandy, Aaliyah.
Oh, yes.
I just, Aretha Franklin, and especially Sade. I love Sade. Sade was that influence I especially learned to love as I got older, and I was like, oh, this is a vibe. Like, her live concerts are amazing.
Any sort of particular interest you had? Other things that you wanted to, seek as yourself?
It was always music. It was such a weird thing, like from a little itty bitty kid, I just knew I was just obsessed with singing, and I just naturally had a talent to write.
That's a true calling.
Yeah.
That's a true calling. So, may I ask, what is your creative process?
It's so weird. I can be anywhere and get an idea for a song. I can be anywhere and just hear someone say something, and I write it down. I'm like, oh, that'll make a good song. Or I can just watch someone or watch someone's relationship and go, wow, that's a good idea.
How do you handle rejection and criticism? Being an artist yourself, I'm sure there's been plenty of situations that have been the best, but of course, how do you handle those?
You have to grow to learn how to handle them. Your first rejection hurts, but as you grow, you start to realize, okay, they're not God. They did not give me this gift. Someone just gave them a platform to stand on. So you have to grow and realize, okay, God gave me this gift. That's not the door for me to go into. And once you realize those are not the right doors, and that there is a door that is right for you, you realize, okay, you'll learn how to dust it off. As Leah said, dust it off and try again. You move on real quickly.
So, what inspires your songwriting yourself, may I ask this?
I would say it's always spiritual.
Spiritual?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I can be talking to God, and I can write it as if it's like I have a song called "Best Part of My Everything," but it's also me talking to God. I can write a song. I have a song called "Time," and a lot of people love it, and it's in the sense of a relationship, but it's also a deeper relationship, spiritual, with God and how time is going, or a waste of time, or things like that. So that's one of the process for me. It's a lot spiritual.
Have there been like any, I don't want to say dark times, but considering I know everyone had their spiritual journey, myself included, any times that you went through your spiritual journey that you needed to really push forward and that really gave you that extra step that really put you in the right position?
Oh, so many times. So many times even with rejection, I was like, God, why? And it would be years later before I go, well, that's why. Or thank God I didn't go through that door. There's so many different angles of that. But yeah, it really is just having a deep relationship with God.
I hear that.
It really is, because you got to dig deep sometimes. Yeah.
So my next question for you tonight is, how do you describe your music style?
I would say you can hear the gospel in it. A lot of people say when you hear it, even though it's R&B, it's gospel, it's pop, it's country, a lot of people always say, wow, I hear gospel. And I used to say, wow, but now I know that it's just everyone has a gift and a talent that God gives and an anointing on that. So I know that it's just the anointing of God that you hear, no matter what it's singing about. It's love songs, heartbreak, and being encouraged. No matter what, you just hear that gospel. And I mean, again, that's inspired by so many great artists I kind of grew up listening to: Aretha, Otis Redding, Tony Braxton, Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. You can hear that grit in it that distinguishes your voice from someone else's.
Any upcoming projects you have down the line?
I do. One would be this show I have called The Walk of Life. I'm super excited for that because I get to interview different people. Yay! I get to know what their thoughts are and what encourages and moves them. And also I have new music coming, gospel music. And the first song that's going to be released, it's very powerful. It's called Jesus Cares for You. Again, it's all about what I'm about, putting positivity out there and positive vibes.
May I ask, what was the name of your first song?
The first song off the album is called Love Will Open the Door. And the first song is Best Part of My Everything.
Any
Yeah.
particular reason why you put that song first on the album?
You know, it's one of my favorites. Everyone I played it for, they always loved it. And so it just became the first song. But ironically, the song that everyone seems to love is called Time.
Okay, time.
And I think it's just because time is the one thing you can't get back. Once you use it, once you spend it, that's it.
When you pray as well, how do you start your prayers? Do you usually sing a song when you start your prayers, or like do you save it till only in the church itself? I'm just curious.
You know, I started praying so young because my parents are ministers, and my mom always raised us up on pray, take it to God, take it to God.
Prayer warriors.
Yeah, so I started praying really young. And so from there, I would just, it was kind of like a slot machine, dear God, gimme, 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 gimme. But I learned to also give thanks. That is the hardest part, is just learning how, okay, give thanks. Give thanks when it's bad, give thanks when it's good. Just give thanks.
Any scriptures in the Bible that you go to, you prefer yourself?
91, I love Psalms 91. Also love the 23rd songs. There's so many. Sometimes I go through different ones, or something comes through my mind, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and let me read that,
It piques your interest.
It does.
I realize that now as I am getting older, I see that there's so much more to learn from the Bible because their perspectives change as you get down the line. May I ask you, were there any scriptures you read in the past that definitely have a different perspective now that you have a bit more experience and you have also started singing?
There's so many. I either land on something or I go to something that I go, oh, wow, oh, okay. And that starts to shape the way I see, okay, tomorrow. Or if I'm feeling discouraged about something, I go find something. Or I just end up flipping through, and it shapes the way I feel, and I go, okay, I can do this.
That's wonderful. My next question for you is, growing up for myself, I always found it amazing to go to see the sermons inside a church. Were there any part of the service itself for you that you found that you definitely preferred to view as well? May I ask?
The music.
The music.
I was always happy. It was always the music. I mean, as I became older, it became the sermon and the revelation I could get from it.
The message.
Yeah, but honestly, it was the music. I mean, the drummer, the singer, their deliverance, how they perform. Your real and your first performances before you have a show is at church. That's your first show. That's your main show, especially in African American churches.
Yeah,
if you good, they'll let you know.
There's a lot of spirit.
If you bad, they'll just say, they'll let you know. You get there one day, they'll let you know. But I mean, that's your first audience. That's your practice stage. That's your main stage. Yeah.
How often do you prepare yourself when it comes down to singing, when it comes to performing in that regard?
Before a show, I always go into practice. Like I start practicing very heavy. But I mean, before then, depends. If I'm working with a teacher, I go once a week.
Okay. That's
And then if something's coming up, I start rehearsing a little bit more. But I need to rehearse a lot more. I mean, you can never rehearse enough, honestly.
That's true. Practice does make perfect.
You never stop learning.
There's always more than this perfection.
Always more to learn, always more to perfect, like you said,
Other than that, I think I am good on questions for this evening. It's been a pleasure being able to have the stage for you and ask you so many wonderful questions. You have educated me and our audience, I'm sure. So, as well, thank you.
I thank you for being here. I thank you for taking the time. You are amazing at what you do. I hope to have you back. I want to interview you. Now I'm excited. I want to take the time to thank my good friend
Romel again.
for coming in and doing this interview with me. This is the pilot episode. I'm Tieasha Baker. You guys can find my music on all streaming platforms. That's Tieasha Baker. This new show will be available in December, and my new song, Jesus Cares for You, will be available in December also. Anything I'm forgetting?
Now, as we hit all notes tonight, it's been again a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to see the new music, hear it in, and again, feel the empowerment as well.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you again.
Bam.